Hey everybody, so I had a brainstorm this morning and I decided that I would do a new little series and do conversations with clients. So my very first client right here, some of you might recognize her. Technically, she's my kid, but she's also my very first client as far as human potential goes, and how it was working with me or living with me or being raised by me or whatever. But anyway, we're going to start this whole conversation with what she's got going on in her life right now. She is talking to us from San Angelo, Texas, and I am in Arizona. So I'm going to let her just kind of talk about where she's at, what she's got going on right now, and we'll just go from there. We're winging it a little bit today. So what's up, Kodie?
All right. Well, earlier in the year, I retired from Arizona FFA state office. So I spent the last year traveling all over the state, advocating for agriculture, working with high school students. A lot of really great things, really great opportunities came from that. And when I retired in June, I wasn't really sure where to go from there. So my mom connected me to this wonderful lady in Miles, Texas. So I went out there for the summer to work for her, and I loved the job. I loved the area. And I decided that if I was ever going to do something not in Arizona, that this was my chance. So I picked up and I moved to San Angelo, Texas. I started going to school at Angelo State University. And since then, I have switched majors twice, which has been a little bit stressful, but it's fine. I've been working on getting my blog that I started earlier in the year up and running a little bit, getting some more content on there, some more followers, and just trying to figure out what degree path I'm going to be in, because I've kind of learned that when you make up a career in your head, that they don't have degree plans for that. So trying to work that.
All right, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll also talk about your blog in a minute, but I want to ask you about when you made the decision to move to San Angelo. Did you know anybody there other than the person that you worked for?
No,
Not a soul.
Not a soul.
So wait, did your mom run to your rescue and take care of things for you? Like moms are supposed to do?
Not at all. I just kind of called and was like, hey, by the way, I think I'm going to move here. And then I really didn't give you much more information from there because I didn't have the information myself. But yeah, so I moved here in August officially. But before then, I visited the school. I tried to figure out what my classes were going to be, all that. I did not register for classes until the day before they started.
And you probably had a whole pocket full of money to do this, right?
Yeah,
tons of money. Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
No money, no idea how you were going to pay for college in this new state, in this new world. You just jumped.
Yeah. It was really difficult because everything in Arizona was set up for me. I had scholarships to University of Arizona, which I loved, by the way, still love. I knew my professors. I was really comfortable there. I had a house lined up. I was going to be roommates with my two best friends in the entire world. But I just was like, I need to stay here and I need to keep doing what I'm doing here. So I called both of them like in tears and I was like, you guys, I'm not coming back. And I thought they were going to be mad at me, but they were really great. They're like, Kodie, we want you to be happy. We understand, like, this is what you need to do. And to be honest, we knew you weren't coming back when you left. Like, oh, well, thanks for telling me about that, but cool.
I also knew you weren't coming back when you left.
Yeah, everybody knew.
Everybody knew but you, yeah. So, so tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, I want to show everybody your blog here. Let me share the screen so that they can go check that out, possibly if I can get the screen shared here. So this is Kodie's blog, And the Crazy Happy Hopeful. This is the newest out this morning. So she loves fall. And then a bunch of other ones. This is kind of the story about looking for a change, right? So she's got some great, some blog posts on here. So follow her. She's fabulous. I mean, I'm her mom, but seriously, she's fabulous.
Go back and show them where the little follow button is in the corner down there.
Right down here at the bottom. Can you see that? Okay, awesome. So just
that's what it looks like on any device, your iPhone, your tablet, whatever.
Okay, so you can just click that button and it will hook you right up for that. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to the other screen. Okay, so so your whole life, what was it like? Like what kind of mom was I? Mean, nasty mama?
I don't know. I always thought you were a pretty normal mom, but I mean, you were what I had to go off of.
So when you got out into the world and started living on your own and seeing the people around you, they're all of a sudden, you're 20, so we can tell everybody that. So all of a sudden, I remember days when you would come home and tell me or call me and say, oh my gosh, my friend does not know how to go to the grocery store. Or,
yeah.
I mean, were you discovering that there were people who did not know how to function on their own and how that affected you or surprised you or whatever?
Yeah. So 20 is like this really weird age where like half of my friends are getting married and starting families. Half of them are like doing drugs, and then like the other half are just trying to figure things out. Yeah. So this is just a really weird time in life. But from what I noticed from the people that I surrounded myself with who were similar to me, like, you know, we're not getting married and we're not doing drugs, we're just figuring things out, is that they really, I feel like they have to figure out a lot more than I have in regards to mostly like money. I mean, I have friends that have to call their parents every week and have them transfer money to their bank accounts, which is fine. And I'm glad that they can do that for them. But it was just a really foreign concept for me. I was like, sometimes when my mom comes to visit me, she buys me lunch.
And do you think that that is because I am just a mean mama, or did I have a method to that madness? And do you see it?
I think I see part of it now as that was what it was like for you when you were in college. So that's what you did for me, which I thought sucked, but it also benefited me because I can do whatever I want with my money. And usually I tell you and you just kind of like give me this look if you think it's a terrible idea, but I can do it anyways because I'm an adult.
Your money, you get to pay the consequences. So what happened in high school? Like, how did that whole money thing come about? You want to tell the situation? It was awful?
That was like the worst thing. Well, it wasn't the worst thing, but okay. So the biggest thing was having a vehicle.
Oh wait, before you go there, let's start back with your freshman year. How did I handle your budgeting situation?
Okay, so this part was not terrible. This part I actually kind of liked. So am I supposed to refer to you as you or as she?
However you would like.
Okay. I don't know who I'm talking to. So you gave me, you calculated all of my expenses for the year, whether it was my prom dresses, I didn't need gas money yet, but my lunch money, my basically everything but like typical groceries, food, toiletries, that sort of thing. So you calculate all that up and then divided it by 12.
Dance lessons.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheerleading uniforms.
School fees, college fees, college class fees. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that. And divide it by 12. So then I could do, whatever I wanted with that money, technically. No, I mean, I knew that it was designated for those things, but I mean, if I wanted to, I could have quit it all and just blown it, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But what was hard is I think I got like a certain amount per month.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be careful about when I use it. So if I knew that, winter formal was coming up and I was going to need a $100 dress, that I would either have to cut back the month before or what, like I just had to keep in mind of what expenses were coming that month as opposed to kind of the lighter months, I guess.
Gotcha. And then what happened your sophomore year with the money?
It got cut back.
In half?
Not for, was it that much?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember.
It was cut in half.
Yeah, so it was cut in half. Really not by either of our own choosing, but other circumstances. Mm-hmm. But during that time, I also had a job. So I was also making my own money on top of that. So yeah, it was just kind of.
How old were you when you started working different kinds of jobs?
I would say my first job, I was 11, and I went with you to work at Apple Orchard when they needed extra help. So, but I could only work there when you were there for legal purposes.
Right.
But really, since then, I've had some sort of job, some sort of income.
Okay. And then just to finish up the budgeting for high school, then your junior and senior year, how much money did you get for all those same things? Prom dresses, lunches, all of those things?
I didn't get any money my junior and senior year.
How in the world did you afford all your stuff?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I wrote about this in one of my blogs, actually, is that, I was told in high school that, I shouldn't have to work. I need to be a kid. My parents should take care of all of this for me.
I didn't tell you this information.
No, you didn't.
No. Somebody else.
Yeah. And I was like, and like looking back now, I see these kids who are like, oh, so stressed because they have a math test coming up, which, yeah, math is stressful. I get that, trust me. But I worked 2 jobs. I played whatever sports I wanted. I was very involved in the FFA. I did student council. I got A's and B's. And my entire first year of college was paid for in scholarships. So do not tell me that you cannot handle all of this stuff, because it is possible if you really want it. Like,
what would you say to parents about, what would you say to parents about when they're wanting to support their kids by giving them everything? What would you say to that?
You're supporting them so much more by not giving it to them, by letting them earn it themselves. Now, my parents by all means were supporting of me. Is that a word? I don't know.
It's okay.
But it's fine, whatever. So, fast forward a little bit into my freshman year of college, I had it paid for in scholarships, and I got some financial aid as well. So I didn't work at this. This was really the only time I didn't have a job, because I was a state officer, which is a volunteer thing. So I wasn't working because I was busy with that. So my scholarship money covered like my living expenses, my apartment, my food, all that. And then my financial aid covered school. Well, around like October-ish, I started receiving emails and stuff saying that my financial aid was going to be canceled. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. So I called my stepdad, Lyman, for asking him for money before I called mom. But I thought that might be the better chance. And he was like, yeah. I was like, can you please just like pay my rent this month, because I like cannot do it. And he's like, okay, well, I'll talk to your mom about it. Well, mom comes back, she's like, we can't do it either. So, but they did not just like not give me the money. Like, all right, well, have fun, figure that out. I hope you are in a bed tonight. My mom was also on the phone with the financial aid office with me, figuring things out. She was on the internet, finding different ways I could make money, freelance writing and different things like that. So she wasn't just like, we're not going to give you money, but she's like, we're going to figure out how this is going to get paid for and I'm going to help you. So in my mind, that is how you support it. That is how you have to teach them and you have to show them and you help them, but that doesn't mean that you hand it to them.
And so what did that do for you as far as your confidence level or feeling empowered to be able to handle things? You might want to talk about the whole broken car thing. I mean, you have a couple of experiences with that, but.
Yeah, okay. Cars are really not my thing. So in high school, my senior year, both my mom and Lyman decided that I needed to drive my own vehicle instead of one of theirs. And that did not throw me at all. And I just kind of ignored it and kept driving theirs until they literally forced me to buy my own. So they found this car and they're like, we have this car, we want you to come test drive it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I guess we can start car shopping for myself. Well, okay, I did not test drive this car. They just bought it. So I love you. They bought this car for me, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I still didn't drive it because I conveniently did not learn how to drive a standard for months on purpose because I did not want to drive this car. And then when I did finally learn and start driving the car, it overheated, and I did not know what that was. Nobody taught me these things, okay? So it overheated, and now the car is on Wilcox shared trade sell page for a low amount of money. So go check that out. And
so what did that mean about you going to college?
Now I don't have a vehicle at all to drive. And other parents in the town, when I was like, yeah, I don't have a car, they were like, well, why doesn't your mom just send you with hers? And I was like, I don't know, maybe because she has to drive something. Well, I mean, that makes sense to me, but yeah, I don't know. And somebody, even kids my age and their parents are like, why don't your parents just buy you a car? And I was like, I don't know, are they supposed to? I don't know. Yes, so I went my first semester of college without a car, and it sucked. So then in December, I was like, okay, you need to buy a car. So my financial aid went through, which was a miracle. And so then I had some money to go and buy a car. So I did. And it was really exciting because it was mine. I picked it out. I got to drive it. I could do whatever I wanted with it. It was a convertible. That was super fun. Anyways, that's a whole other story. So I guess it just gave me the empowerment to know that I could do it and I can figure it out. So that awful day in October of last year when I was having a meltdown because my financial aid was getting taken away, I didn't know that in 2 months that I was going to be able to buy a new car because my parents didn't give me the money, because they showed me how to earn it myself. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I now know that in whatever situation, I can figure it out. I never worry about money anymore because I know how to make money. I'm not super great at managing it. I will be honest there. Not my strong point. But I know that I won't run out because I always know how to make more.
You know how to make money. So, is that freeing at all? Does that make sense? Does it give you some freedom, a sense of freedom?
I would say yes, because it's just mine. I don't have to ask where I can go or who I can see or what I can buy.
What
It's
did I
just,
what did I always tell you in high school about the whole trust thing?
um,
Do you remember?
yeah, I do. I just can't remember like the exact words you used. Like, it was something along the lines of like, you have my trust until you break it, I think. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, it was basically like you're free to do what you want to do until you break my trust, until you mess up, and then that freedom is going to be not so much there. So,
Right.
another parent asked you about lying in high school. About
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so you want to tell me about that?
Um, yeah. So here's the thing is when I was younger, when I lied, I got in way more trouble than I did if I did anything else. Like I could have punched my brother in the face, but if I was honest about it, I didn't get in as much trouble. I still got in trouble, but usually he punched me in the face, so that's a completely different story. But I, if I lied about it, it was like 10,000 times more of a big deal. So then when I was in high school, I was like, to this day, I cannot do it. Like, even if I wanted to, it does not happen.
So what did you
Um,
tell that person when they asked you about like when you were lying to your parents in high school or whatever?
oh, I just said, well, I didn't lie when I got into high school. And a lot of it was because I really didn't have a reason to. Um, like I knew that I could come to you and I knew I could tell you things. I knew that you weren't going to freak out. I knew that you did trust me. And and the other thing I think is like looking back now, I knew that on the times that like I did screw up and I should have lost your trust, you also knew that I'm a human being that doesn't always have perfect results and that whatever I did wasn't necessarily out of the ordinary. But I think you also saw that I felt like the worst guilt ever, and that was probably punishment enough. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that you probably understood the value of being truthful and having integrity in the things that you do in that, and not just with me, but with the world and how super duper important that is. And I think that a lot of people have said things like they see you guys, you and your sister, and maybe your brother a little bit, but they understand that you're trustworthy. You know that you are going to do what's right in those circumstances. So part of all of what I do is human potential and dealing with people when they just don't understand the power that they have to really to control their own lives and what they can do. Like there's so much out there that they can do. And I wanted to just share kind of a few little stories with you because you are a significant example of developing your own human potential, and not just because you're my kid, but because you really have. And this is just one story out of many that you've been able to achieve pretty much whatever you have decided you're going to do. Now, was that without struggle, and was that without stress, and was that without a few tears and a few like, oh my gosh, mom, please back me up, right? Yeah. And I'm like, so from my perspective on this end, for parents, like you should know that that was not easy for me. It was not easy for me to send my kid off to college without a car, knowing that she's going to have to be dependent on other people to get to different places, and safety issues and whatever. But we were only an hour away, and I really wanted to give her that power and that strength so that at some point in her life, when she felt the need to be dependent on somebody else, she understands her own strength and does not need others to pick her up. She can pick herself up, and therefore she can help other people. So now, Kodie, I want you to tell people kind of what your purpose in life is, what you're working on accomplishing for your big goal, the big thing.
Okay. So through my time in the FFA, I developed a really strong passion for agriculture and the advancement there in the industry that human beings are always going to need. And also having a brother with Down syndrome and working with other kids with special needs, I have really developed a passion for those people and helping them reach their full potential, because that's not something that many people really believe in. You know, we're not back in the 50s where we're just putting them in institutions, but we're still not crediting them for what they can do and how they can help society and how they are just people. So throughout high school, I was like trying to put all my passions together. And so I came up with this idea with the help of my wonderful mother here that that I want to start a program within FFA and agriculture that connects special students with special needs directly to careers or college, whatever they want upon graduation. That way they're doing something that they love and somewhere where they're always going to be guaranteed a job or a career of some sort. We're benefiting society. We're helping their parents who, worry every night about what's going to happen to their kid when they're an adult. We're just adding a lot of peace of mind to a lot of people for these people who have ability. They just communicate a little bit differently or, see things differently, which is a huge advantage to the employer to have this whole other ideas of what's happening. I mean, one example I have, when I was serving as a state officer, I went on a chapter visit to San Luis, Arizona, by Yuma, and there was a student in there who had autism, and McKenna, my partner, and I gave them the assignment to draw out their SAE. And their SAE is their project. So if you're a farmer, it's growing whatever, it's, raising your steer, whatever your project is. So they're supposed to draw out their SAE. And this student not only drew out his current SAE, but what he envisioned for the future. And he drew, it was like a pivot, but it moved on its own. I can't even describe to you what all it did, but it was I don't think it walked. I think it hovered, actually. It's something really, really cool. And I was just like, this is it. These are the things that can make money for the industry, can help the industry overall, and we are not giving these people the opportunity to give us what they can.
Because people look at them as limited?
Yes, limited, kind of cute. I mean,
yeah,
they're not little kids. And,
right.
Label them as mentally being only 5 or 6, and they may be socially 5 or 6, but there's something in there that they can do at a professional level in every single one of them. So just like any of us.
So you want to put together a program that connects people with special needs of some sort in the agricultural industry, providing careers and jobs that are level. And I feel like that's something that you have to educate the people in the industry more than parents of kids with special needs or people with special needs or those kinds of things. How can people contact you if they want to know more about that? What's a good way to contact you?
My email would probably be the best way to contact me. It's just Kodie, Kodie, .Clifton, CLIFTON @gmail.com.
Okay.
So just my name at gmail.com.
Okay. So if anybody wants to ask you questions or talk about that a little bit more, or, hey, what about, are you available to go speak places to different people about your experiences growing up with a brother with Down syndrome, or you also work with somebody who has Down syndrome? He's 9. Yeah. Is that correct? and you have worked with people with autism in different places. So, so you have a wealth of experience. I know that because I raised you and we live with Jason. So I understand that whole thing. So, and I also know that you are a fabulous public speaker and presenter. So I think that you have a lot of information that you could share with people if they're interested and would like you to come speak. Also, I do that too. So we could even go together. How exciting would that be? All right. So I want to kind of wrap this up. I want everybody to go to Kodie's blog and hit follow. And it is Crazy Happy Hopeful, right? .com. Okay. Make sure it's a lot of words, you know. So is there anything that you want to kind of wrap up with about just human potential and any words of encouragement or inspiration for anybody out there? What do you got?
Okay, I would say the biggest thing that I have learned over the past like 2 months is that you can do whatever you decide to do. But what gets really misconstrued in that is that it's going to be easy and you're just going to know because it's the right thing and you just know that you're doing the right thing. That is not how it works. So my experience, I knew I was doing the right thing and everything just worked out perfectly. I believe in God and I believe that He's lined this out for me. But it was not easy. I have spent a lot of time crying and missing my friends and missing my family and trying to figure out why I'm taking classes that I don't like. And just a lot of things. It's hard, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And, nothing has changed. I know that I can go home whenever I want to. I know that my best friends are still my best friends. And, everything is good, but it takes some adjusting, but it's good adjusting. So
basically, you can do it if you want to.
Yes.
Yes. So there you have it, human potential at its finest. And thanks, Kodie, for doing my very first conversations with clients, even though you don't pay me. But
you don't pay me either.
That's true. I don't pay you either. Just so you guys know, I have not given Kodie a dime for college. She earned over $33,000 in scholarships and financial aid her freshman year. And I also did not help her fill out any of that paperwork except for the bits and pieces that were my responsibility as far as my information. She did all this on her own. So
I'm going to get some birthday money in October.
Oh, birthday money. Okay. So she's not Superwoman and she's not anything different than any other person on the planet. The whole point is that she has gone through trials and troubles and struggles and everything, but she's kept going. She made a decision what she wants to do and she's kept going to get that done. And everybody can do that. Absolutely everybody. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter who tells you can't. Don't listen to them. Just do it. Just make a decision and get it done. So thanks for listening. And I'm fixing to hit the stop recording button and we will talk with you with the next person. So have a great day.